Hello, it's me, and the sun is like really out here. First of all, I wanted to introduce you to my friend. I am very afraid that I'm gonna kill her, but I'm trying. Um, yeah, I don't think I have to water her. So, today is going to be a talking video where I basically want to talk about the lessons that my romantic relationships have taught me. I think romantic relationships are such a complex subject because there are so many questions that people have not really come to an agreement to. For example, what exactly is cheating, and are people actually monogamous beings? What is the purpose of a relationship? How should the right person feel like? When do I know that, this is not my person, that I have to find someone else? Just so many things that are blurry and that are very much idealized and romanticized, that create expectations in us, and expectations don't do much other than destroy relationships and make things even worse and more complicated. I did my research, I went for statistics, I've gone through a lot of stuff just to prove that what I understood from my relationships was actually common sense. And for some reason, this common sense wasn't that common to me before. And I had to go to psychologist sessions and a lot of work on myself in order to understand that some things that I perceived as not normal in others were actually okay. The problem was not in the relationship, the problem was not in the other person. The problem really was in how I was perceiving everything. So the first thing is that your partner does not have the responsibility to make you happy. If you can't be happy on your own, and if you don't have this inner happiness, the relationship or whatever it might be, friendships, romantic relationships, other stuff, other people, they're not going to fill in that void for you. Yes, at first you might want to always be with the other person and feel a lot of euphoria and a lot of passion. After a period, you will start to be either anxiously attached to the person and trying to continuously get their attention and validate their feelings for you, or you will just again feel the emptiness and need to find happiness somewhere else. That's a pretty difficult thing that I learned in a pretty difficult situation where I didn't even realize that I am in responsibility to make myself happy, because this is my own life. And if I don't know how to make myself happy, the other person wouldn't be able to do that. So there is a void inside of each of us that we have to complete, and different people cope in different ways. Some people get dependent on work, drugs, alcohol, gambling. Some people try to fill in that void with creation, with hobbies, with passions that they have, for example, reading, designing stuff. This is the healthy way of filling in this void. It's basically filling it with yourself, with love for what you're doing. And then there's other people who try to fill in their void with other people. There's this really idealized thing that a relationship has to make you super happy. But if you're not happy at the start or by yourself, there's just no way that you would be able to be happy long term in a relationship if you don't do the work yourself. And you can try to consume other people and see if that works for you, but in most cases, that is going to be toxic and detrimental to the other person, because you can't fill in your cup with other people. That can get to a crisis in many relationships when both partners have cups that are empty. Then is the real problem. How do you make a relationship work if both partners need to fill in their cup and they don't know how? So Young Pueblo has a really nice phrase on this topic, and it says, throw away the idea that your partner can make you happy. They can be great support, treat you well, and bring so many good things into your life, but happiness is only sustainable if it comes from within you. Your perception, healing, growth, and inner peace are your own to create. So, there is a study. Basically, it says that your level of happiness and your level of life satisfaction can really affect the one who lives with you, the one who you love. So if you want to be in a healthy, sustainable relationship, you have to work on yourself. And if you have this void inside of you, it's really the best for you to try and understand how you can manage this void on your own. Not consuming something else, not consuming someone else. And I need some water. Oh, this matches my eye color. The next thing is actually related to what I was saying till now. Self-awareness is crucial for your relationship. This is the capacity for introspection and the ability to recognize oneself as an individual separate from the environment and other individuals. It's important to understand that even though you're in a relationship, you are still an individual and you still have individual goals that you want to reach, hobbies, activities, passions, in order to maintain a healthy balance between your life and the relationship. My dad always used to explain it, like in a pie chart. Imagine it being equally distributed to different areas of your life. So you have work, like career, family life, romantic relationship, friendships, and you have time for yourself. Try to make this equally distributed or somewhat equally distributed, because in case this relationship ends, you know how to move forward. In case you have the whole pie chart just about the relationship, if it disappears, it will literally feel like your whole world was destroyed. This is why I suggest that you try to help yourself and be a friend for yourself in the way that you have time for your own activities, for your own goals, for your own hobbies, and maintain a healthy, balanced life. There's also this phrase that is really nice and relevant. The relationship with yourself sets the tone to every other relationship that you have. So you can only achieve a deep level of intimacy and connection with someone else if you are in a deep, intimate connection with yourself. There's really no shortcut. There is no way to overcome the work that you need to do with yourself. So you can't connect with others on a deeper level than you can connect to yourself. Self-awareness is also about understanding your behavior. So in the moments when you are angry, in the moments when you have had an argument with your partner, you try not just to blame your partner, but also try to understand your reactions. Have I reacted the right way? Could I have reacted in another way to make the argument less impulsive? Maybe you have projections. Maybe you get jealous because you used to be in a toxic relationship before. You reacted this way because a certain situation reminded you of something that happened in the past. Understanding yourself and your behavior and your patterns really helps a relationship get over conflicts. It helps a relationship handle conflicts in a healthier way. Statistics show that the most important moments that say a lot about whether a relationship will hold in time or not is how couples deal with arguments. If couples start toxic behaviors during arguments, such as screaming, calling names, fighting, not communicating efficiently their actual needs and reasons for being in such an emotional state, then it's pretty probable that they would break up. And I understood that I have a lot of patterns that make me go in a victim mode, that make me not really be in check with objective reality, that make me not communicate my actual needs and issues in a relationship. So even though I would have an issue in the relationship, I would not properly communicate it at the right time. I would let it grow, and at some point it would just explode in a very difficult argument, in a very complex and draining argument, which are really the worst in a relationship. Respect your and your partner's personal space. Once you get in more serious relationships, when the passion has gone away and you are kind of used to having your partner near you, it's very easy to step over personal boundaries and personal space. The thing is that when someone steps over your personal boundary and your personal space, you will feel irritated. Think about cats, right? You can touch them only when they want you to touch them. If you touch them when they do not have the desire to be touched, they will most likely go away, do this thing, get into some aggressive behavior. So they really know and understand what they want and what they don't want. And it's just crazy how people sometimes don't really understand when they want to be with someone and when they want to be alone. And because people don't even understand their personal boundaries, they wouldn't understand someone else's personal boundaries, and they would just get mad and angry when a person would reject them just because today I want to recharge. The other partner that might be more anxious might get offended, might interpret it using the trauma as rejection, abandonment, and then the problem starts. And it escalates into conflicts and arguments and a lot of painful stuff that really comes from something simple. A relationship psychologist agrees that couples need space in a relationship so they don't suffocate each other. Having time apart is extremely healthy and keeps a freshness in the relationship. It encourages each person to maintain their own sense of identity while still being a couple, and it fosters independence and strength rather than neediness and clinginess.